Good evening to all. Today is the fifth session, day 3, and our speaker is Dr. Manasini Behera. So I request to Niharanjan Mahanto to introduce her.
Thank you,
Nihar?
ma'am. Yes, ma'am. So, a very good evening to the esteemed delegates, respected faculty members, and all the participants. It is my privilege to introduce our distinguished guest, Dr. Manaswini Behera, currently serving as an associate professor in the School of Infrastructure at IIT Bhubaneswar. Dr. Behera completed her MTech from IIT Delhi and her PhD from IIT Kharagpur. She has an impressive academic record with over 95 publications in reputed international and national journals as well as conferences. Dr. Behera has successfully guided more than 4 doctoral students and is currently mentoring several others. Her outstanding contributions have earned her numerous prestigious awards. Additionally, she is a life member of several professional organizations, has authored 2 books, holds 1 patent, and has contributed over 30 book chapters. Dr. Behra has also completed 3 major research projects and is currently leading another, funded by esteemed organizations such as DST and SERV. With due respect, I now invite Honorable Dr. Manashwini Behra ma'am to kindly address the gathering. Ma'am.
Voice is not coming.
Okay, am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Thank you, Dr. Meena and Nihar, for your kind introduction and inviting me for a talk. Okay, so am I clearly audible? Shall I share my slide? Just let me know.
Yeah, you
Once
are
it's-
audible. And
Is it visible now?
yes, visible.
Yes, ma'am.
So better connectivity, I'm switching on the camera so we can again switch it on during question answers.
We can switch off the camera.
Very good evening to one and all. So hope you are having a nice FDP on sustainable civil engineering construction. So my talk will be energy recovery from waste materials. As all of us know, sustainable civil engineering construction, it includes everything like construction of any building, transportation sector, waste management. So everywhere we know civil engineering construction actually contributes major carbon dioxide, and for a better sustainability, we have to reduce the carbon footprint. And in that light, I'll be discussing today how we can have uh, we can have a energy recovery system from the waste, whatever we are generating on a day-to-day basis. Before that, I'll just go to a brief introduction of this. You can see this slide, which shows us the history of the Earth in a 24-hour clock. So many of you might have gone through this kind of hour clock where the 24-hour clock, it represents the entire life of our planet. Okay, so if we take the whole life, like that is the age of 4.6 billion years of planet Earth history, and if we compress it into a 24-hour clock, meaning that the planet was born at midnight. Suppose here 0.000 hours, that is the formation of the Earth, and at the next midnight, just now, that is 24 hours. If you can see, just after 0 0 years, then many things happen, like Earth and planet Theia collide. Then uh, the last common universal ancestor. Then bacteria begin to produce oxygen, that is at 9.4 hours. Same if we see when human were born, before that you can see others. I request please mute yourself. Uh, okay. So we can see here, like from 0 hour to we can see dinosaurs first appear 22.47. That is 1047. Okay. Then, then first mammal appeared 22.56 and dinosaur disappeared 23.4. And if we say when Homo sapiens human appeared, that is 23.59.12 hours, means our life on Earth is just less than a minute if we consider the entire life as 24 hours a day. So we are here for less than 1 minute, but we have created enough destruction on planet Earth. Therefore, we are all of us are talking about this sustainability, sustainable construction everywhere, any industrial application, whatever we are doing now, we are thinking of this sustainable thing. Okay. Then coming to the next slide, if we see this global population growth, so world population reaches already 8 billion and the forecasted population you can see here to and into 21st 2100 you can see forecast from 2022. Actually this graph shows the population of 2022 8 billion, and according to the medium scenario with moderate fertility source is the United Nations population division, we can see that the population is rising like anything, but the growth rate is decreasing because of all the measures taken, but population is rising. Okay, so we'll be reaching beyond 10 billion by 2100. And you can see that in the left side graph also, you can see from 1800 to 2100, there is a sharp rise in the population. So, if I see the share of the population living in urban area, it is a 2023 data. You can see the light green to dark green regions. It shows 60, 70, and 80% of the population living in the urban area. You can see in India, we are still in 30 to 40% are in the urban area, but most of the world population living in the urban area. So what is the effect of this urbanization? In 1900, there were 2 people out of every 10 lived in an urban area. But now currently almost 5 to 6 in out of every 10 people, they are living in urban area. And by 2050, 7 out of every 10 people will live in an urban area. So this urbanization, we can see less than 1% of the land surface is taken by the urban area, but 60 to 70% of anthropogenic greenhouse gas emission is happening by this urbanization. So it is a factor of population growth, economic activity, and it is also affecting the food, energy, water, and materials. And urban areas, they are also driving global land use changes. And if you say by 2050, more than 70% China's population will be urban. And in India, more than 50% of the population will be living in urban area. And more than 26 cities will be having more than 1 million population. And for to cater this urbanization and urban growth, 100 to 200 million hectares of area will be required, which is equivalent to 2010 global urbanized area. And this concept, you can see here, this is the Earth Overshoot Day, which visualizes the global injustice. Means Earth Overshoot Day means the day in which, in a particular year, a day is actually calculated by which we have consumed all the resources that is required for the entire year. Okay, so we can see that in 2024, the Earth Overshoot Day falls on 1st August. Means on 1st August, all the Earth population they have exhausted nature's budget for the year. Means we have consumed all the resources that is required for 2024 or by 1st August. Uh, I request Dr. Meena to ask the participant to mute. Otherwise, I can't speak. Moderators, can you please mute someone?
Hello, participant. Hello, mute yourself. Please. Your voice is not coming. Hello? Dr. Behra, your voice is not coming.
But he has muted me also. I don't know.
Oh. Okay.
Okay. Am I audible now?
Yeah, you are audible.
Okay. Okay. As I said, like we should focus that this Earth overshoot day should extend towards the end of the year. But as you can see from this figure, that Earth overshoot day, it was falling in December month in 1971. However, we have come to August, means rest 5 months we are consuming the future resources for a particular year. So based on that, actually, the sustainability comes. And all of us are aware of the sustainable development goals, like no
Please,
poverty.
excuse me, please full screen, make it full
Okay,
screen.
I made it in there. Yeah. Is it fine now? Okay.
Yeah.
So you can see the sustainable development goals of United Nations. So all of us are aware of these sustainable goals, all the 17 goals. Out of this, you can see sustainability comes in industry, innovation, and infrastructure. And there is number 11 is also sustainable cities and communities. So as civil engineers, we have a great role in this sustainability because, as I said, all the civil engineering construction, it is a major contributor of carbon dioxide and major consumption of all the resources happen in this sector. So coming to this number 11, sustainable cities and communities, since my talk will be mostly focusing on the waste material uses and energy recovery from that. We can see that like in a sustainable city and community, there are major scope for reducing the resource consumption. And we know during our resource utilization, many waste are generated. Let it be construction demolition waste, let it be wastewater generation, let it be solid waste generated. So there are MSW stands for municipal solid waste. So there is a need for recycling or reusing this solid waste for energy generation. Similarly, wastewater can also be treated and reused, and we have to also focus on the safe disposal of the residual waste. Okay, then only we can make a city with a sustainable city with low ecological footprint. So nowadays you can see this circular economy. This is a booming sector. What is that circular economy? Left side figure you can see this is a linear economy, like energy, material, any construction thing. There is an input of energy and material input, then production happens. After the material is produced, that is distributed, that is being used. After use, it is disposed of. Then because of that disposal, there is waste and emission or leakage. Okay, that single line tells about the linear economy. But we have to think of circular economy to attain the sustainability. Then what comes into picture? Reuse. Before disposal, we can reuse it. Then also you can remanufacture or refurbish during the production stage, or from the waste we can recycle it for the energy or energy recovery, or it can be recycled as a input material, so that its users can be, it can be reused, redistributed, reproduced, so that a circular thing is balanced. In the right side figure, if you can see, circularity means when the raw material before disposed of, if it can be collected, it can be recycled, and the material, excuse me, the material can again be used as a raw material for the design and production or construction. Okay, you must have gone through in this lectures, like when material can be recirculated for a construction purpose. Similarly, here I'll be telling how the waste material can be used for the energy purpose. Okay, so what is circular economy? If I if I discuss, the linear approach of economy is like take, make, dispose. You take some raw material, make the product, then after use, dispose it. So it has resulted in detrimental environmental impact and resource depletion. So from that linear economy, because of all the adverse impact, this concept of circular economy or circular waste management has gained significant traction as a sustainable solution to tackle the issue of environmental impact. So what is circular waste management? It revolves around the idea of closing the loop. In the linear means from the raw material to disposal, it follows a linear path. But in circularity means you have to close the loop by minimizing the waste generation, maximizing the resource utilization, and promoting recycling and upcycling practices. So by adopting this circularity, we can reduce the environmental pollution, conserve the resources, and create a sustainable ecosystem. So this slide will show how we can move from linear to circular approach. So this first line, you can say it is a linear approach. See, any raw material extraction, then production, use, then end of use. Suppose you think of any civil engineering construction. We take many raw material for the construction. Production means suppose then from raw material, suppose cement is produced, we make different type of bricks, different type of plasticizers, chemicals used in the construction or steel, it is produced. Then it is taken and it is used in the building and the building is used. So suppose the building has a certain lifespan. After that, it is demolition happens and end of the use. Then it generates construction demolition waste. Generally that waste find its way in the landfill. But our in circular approach, we should think of like how that waste can be again utilized in the construction or for any other purpose, so that that disposal, after disposal, whatever adverse impact happen, that will not occur. Okay, so the next step you can see the purple line, the gray line shows the linear approach. Purple says use to use. Means the after use, we can reduce the use or you can reuse. There a circularity is maintained at the user end. Then next you see the green one. You can suppose a material after its a beneficial use, it can be repaired, it can be refurbished or remanufactured or again produced for the use again, so that the raw material extraction will be reduced. Then another approach can be after end of use of that material, it can be repurposed. Means suppose it is used for a particular purpose, it may not be used for that purpose which it served previously, but it can be repurposed for some other uses, or it can be recycled back in the production. Then finally, you can say the yellow line. It says the reduce by design. Suppose as a civil engineer, we can make change in our design approach so that this circularity can be maintained in a better way, so that we can move away from the linear approach and move towards the circular approach. So this is about the circular economy. And this figure is the summary of that renewable material and finite material, how they can be recirculated. And mostly I'll be talking about this green material, that is renewable flow management. Suppose any renewable material, that is how it can be collected, how we can extract some useful material from that, and after that end use should be not disposal, how it can be reused for any other purpose, like we can generate renewable energy from that. Then what is the benefits of this circular waste management? So circularity mostly challenges the current economic model towards a sustainable future. So inspired by nature-based solutions, circular model keep material at the highest possible value. Because when we talk about any economy, we should not be only talking about the money flow. We should always focus also the environmental cost. Suppose some material may be abundantly available, but after its extraction at a high rate, it may get depleted. Then after that, we should be thinking how that uses can be reduced. So we should assign an environmental cost to a material. Apart from that monetary cost, how environmentally it is good or bad, how much environmental pollution it is creating. Based on that, if we assign some cost, then obviously the uses of a particular endangered material or which causes more environmental pollution can be regulated. Okay, the entire value chain matters more than each stage individually. As I had given you an idea of entire chain of a production from raw material extraction to end use. So we should not be only thinking during the use. At each of the value chain, we should be thinking about the environmental impact. And all the stakeholders are engaged in changing the system. It is not only the users. At every stage of the life cycle, we have to think of the stakeholder who are engaged so that they can be trained enough to make a sustainable workflow. Then life cycle thinking enables. I think most of you must be knowing the life cycle analysis. Life cycle analysis means suppose we are constructing a concrete building. It is not like the impact is not like during construction, how much material is used or how much pollution we are creating. It is not like that. Life cycle thing means suppose we are using cement in a construction. Cement, what are the raw material during extraction phase? What are the environmental impact? Then from that raw material in extraction phase, it is transported to the production. During transportation, how much environmental pollution we are creating, because there will be energy input in the transportation sector. There will be pollution. Then during production, what are the pollution? So all these things we have to take into account. Then disconnecting natural resource use and environmental impact from economic activity and human well-being is essential. Okay, so as I have already talked about this benefit of circular waste management, if we will summarize it, it has environmental advantage like reduction in the extraction of virgin resources, diversion of waste from landfill, mitigating pollution and preserving the natural habitat, then protection of ecosystem, conservation of water and improvement in air quality. Similarly, we have also economic opportunities like reduction in the procurement cost and lower dependence on the costly raw material. Then when we embrace the circularity, it can foster the innovation because we should think of design change. We should think of how we can recycle, refurbish or remanufacture. So it will also develop innovation, drive job creation. It also opens up opportunity for collaboration and partnership across various sectors. Then it has also social benefits like a circular system contribute to enhanced public health and well-being, and it also promotes a mindset that encourages sustainable consumption pattern, educating individual on waste reduction and inspiring behavioral change that align with a sustainable future. Okay, so now coming to the topic, what are the major environmental concerns that comes uh, nowadays we are facing? One is air pollution, all of us are aware of the air pollution, like Delhi air pollution episodes, many of us are aware of, like in Delhi, schools, colleges remain closed during winter for many days because of high PM 2.5 concentration. And we are also seeing that this year the uh, temperature has fallen below the last 2 3 years. That is the El Nina effect. Similarly, stratospheric ozone depletion, acid deposition, outdoor pollutant, or there are also indoor pollutant. So that is air pollution. Another thing is water pollution, like toxic chemical, infectious agents, oxygen depletion, oil spill, excess heat, then food supply problem, and there are also waste production like solid waste and hazard waste generation. So I'll be focusing on this waste production and waste utilization for energy recovery. And there is also biodiversity depletion that is happening. These are the major environmental concerns. And coming to this world's water, because I'll be talking on the wastewater and its reuse for energy recovery and its reuse as a freshwater source. So before that, I'll be talking on this world's water. You can see the left side figure. This is the total earth volume. You can see the bigger blue here that shows the all the water on in and above the world. Okay, means all the groundwaters and surface waters or moisture in the atmosphere. So that is a bigger blue color. And next to it, a second size blue dot, that is the fresh water that is available. That is the volume in comparison to entire volume. And the small blue dot, it shows the freshwater lakes in lakes and river. Because out of all the fresh water, many are in groundwater and in ice caps or glaciers. Around 70% are in ice caps and glaciers. 29% are groundwater. Rest 1% is only there as freshwater in lake and river which are accessible, means readily accessible. Okay, so therefore we have to use it cautiously. So what is the concept of water stress? You can see this figure. One is in Africa, another is in Maharashtra, India. Okay, so out of 6 people, one out of 6, they lack access to safe drinking water, and 2 out of 6 lack adequate sanitation. Okay, and the data says like 3,900 children die every day from waterborne diseases. And many of the water systems that keep ecosystem thriving and feed a growing human population have become stressed. Means groundwater depletion is happening. There is also surface water, lack of the surface water quantity. And by 2025, already this year we have arrived at 2025, 2/3 of the world's population may face water shortages. Even last to last year, we have seen the water scarcity suddenly in Bangalore, how it happened. And many other places in Maharashtra, uh, they do not have enough quantity of water for their farmlands, also for drinking. In Delhi, in many of the portion, water is supplied through tankers. They do not have direct fresh water supply. Okay, so similarly, this is the water scarcity clock. We can see the by 2030, this is 270 crores people will be living in the water scarce area. So we can see here, this is the most water stressed countries in the world, and we are at 13th place because water stress means 40 to 80% water scarcity there. In India also, you can see the most of the places are in maroon or red zone, so which are facing the water scarcity. And this is the data, water stress in India, water scarcity and absolute scarcity. So I'm not spending much time in that. And 54% of India faces high to extremely high water stress. Okay. So these are some of the data. Like 600 million Indians face high to extreme stress over water. Then 70% of India's water is contaminated because of the wastewater discharge. 40% of the population will have no access to drinking water by 2030, and 6% of India's GDP will be lost because of the water crisis. So coming to this wastewater generation, since we will be focusing on energy recovery from waste, this is the data like 80% of the wastewater is released without any adequate treatment. It is discharged as it is. And global water use increasing at a rate of 1% per year. And world is going to face 40% global water crisis or deficit. And discharge of this untreated wastewater is contributing heavily to greenhouse gas emission. That is 13% of the global non-CO2 emission are from landfill where solid waste is dumped, open sewers or lagoons where wastewaters are dumped. So these are effect of untreated wastewater discharge. All of have experienced this kind of big drains discharging wastewater into the surface water body. You can see some colors where textile or dye industry, they release the wastewater directly. And you have seen Yamuna, the stretch of Yamuna in Delhi. In most of the area, it is foam. You can't see even fresh water in that river stretch. It is already foam because of all the pollutant present. And it affects human health, also aquaculture. So what are the effect of untreated wastewater? One is human health impact. Obviously, we are aware of that. That it increase the cost of potable and industrial process wastewater, because when we discharge untreated wastewater into surface water body, surface water also gets polluted. So when we want drinking water out of that or any industrial wastewater, process water out of that, we have to invest a lot of cost, money for the treatment of the surface water to make it potable. Then also it causes food insecurity because it affects the edible crop irrigation. It affects the aquaculture, therefore it impacts the food security. It creates food insecurity. Because of this, groundwater pollution also happens. Negative impact on aquatic ecosystem. Eutrophication in the previous slide with one I had shown with green algae development in the water bodies, which is eutrophication. Then depletion of DO, dissolved oxygen, decrease in the receiving water body, and greenhouse gas emission. So these are the impacts. So this slide I'll just omit. Here means I have just listed what are the principal constituent of concern in the wastewater treatment. Like there are suspended solid, biodegradable organics, pathogens, nutrients, then uh, priority pollutant like which causes cancer, which causes gene mutation, then refractory organics means which cannot be degraded. There are heavy metals and dissolved inorganics which causes neurotoxicity, which causes many yield alteration in us because they are not, once we intake it, they are not easily going out of our body because they accumulate in the body tissue. Bioconcentration, bioaccumulation happens and it generates many diseases in human body. Therefore, nowadays this cancer rate has increased like anything. This is mostly because of this pollution, contaminated food and water. Okay. Then coming to the waste to energy conversion, and the waste to energy from any wastewater or solid waste, we can generate energy most in maybe in biochemical conversion, maybe thermochemical conversion. Mostly biochemical conversion is very economical as well as environmental friendly. Therefore, I'll be focusing on biochemical conversion of waste to energy. So suppose bioenergy. What do you understand by bioenergy? Bioenergy is means the energy which we get from the organic fraction of the waste through biological way. Means biological way means in where microbes, they play a role to generate energy from waste. Okay, one thing is biomethane. All of us are aware of biomethane. Like there are gobar gas plants, many of us know. that is only we generate from cow dung. Methane is generated, that is used as cooking. So that is one biomethane, but I am talking about the waste fraction. Suppose it is the domestic wastewater or any wastewater having high organic content or solid waste. When we go with anaerobic digestion process, methane is generated, and that can be used for electricity production as well as that can be used as direct cooking gas. Okay. Another thing is bioethanol. So ethanol is a fuel. So ethanol can also be produced from waste. Another thing is biohydrogen. So hydrogen can be produced. One thing is hydrogen can be produced from the electrolysis of water. When in electrolysis cell, water is splitted into hydrogen and oxygen. That is a separate thing. But here hydrogen can be produced through dark fermentation from the waste. So hydrogen is the cleanest fuel because when we use hydrogen, the byproduct is water. So no carbon dioxide is produced. Then another thing is like bioelectricity. Bioelectricity means from this biomass or solid waste or liquid waste, we can directly generate electricity. So I'll be talking in brief about all these technologies. First one is methane generation during anaerobic oxidation of wastewater. Because first let me tell you what is anaerobic oxidation means. Anaerobic means in the absence of oxygen. Aerobic means in the presence of oxygen. In the presence of oxygen, if we oxidize a material, generally the end product will be carbon dioxide. So it doesn't have any energy value and it will be emitted. Therefore, if we do it in anaerobic condition, in the absence of oxygen, it will be converted to CH4. Instead of CO2, it will be converted to methane, CH4, which is a potential source of energy. So, this is the anaerobic digestion to produce biogas. Suppose any organic matter, it may contain protein, carbohydrate, lipid. I am not going much into this, but bacteria, they hydrolyze, they make it simpler organic, they convert it to different acids, and from that acid, through methanogenesis process, methane is produced, and some CO2 is already always gets produced. Okay, so what are these advantages of anaerobic treatment? And it has energy benefit, it has economic benefit, it has also environmental benefit. Okay. So what are the environmental benefit of anaerobic digestion? So the environmental benefits of this anaerobic digestion is elimination of odorous compound, because when in anaerobic condition, when we treat something, generally it is in a closed environment. So during that waste treatment, no odor is produced. And since we use the whatever methane is produced, there is decrease in the greenhouse gas emission, then promotion of carbon sequestration and protection of ground and surface water. These are the environmental benefit. And then the energy benefit means during anaerobic treatment of any waste, whatever methane is produced, so it is a net energy producing process. Because when we throw some waste from our household, we just tell it as a waste. But during anaerobic digestion, it is considered as a wealth. It is a resource for generating energy, because there we produce net energy, and biogas facility generates high quality renewable fuel. Surplus energy as electricity and heat is produced. Reduced reliance on energy input. Such a facility contributes to decentralized distributed power, and biogas is a rich source of electricity, heat, and transportation fuel. For example, I'll say in Indore, Indore is the cleanest city for the last 5 years. So there what happens, they have CBG plant. CBG is compressed biogas. What they do, like in motor vehicles, you use CNG. Similarly, they are using CBG. CNG is compressed natural gas. CBG is compressed biogas. That biogas is produced from the municipal solid waste in anaerobic digesters. So they compress it, and all the government buses that are running in the Indore city, they are fueled by this CBG. So that's why that is a factor that makes the city cleanest as well as smart city. Uh, so it has also economic benefit, like it transforms waste liability into new profit center, adds value to negative value feedstock. Because when we throw the waste, it has a negative value, because once waste is generated, it has to be transported, it has to be disposed of. It doesn't give any value. But when we generate energy out of it, it adds value to a negative value feedstock. Power tax credit may be obtained from each kilowatt hour of power produced from the solid waste. It also reduces dependence on energy imports. So this is the example of a anaerobic reactor where we treat wastewater under anaerobic condition. You can see here, this is a upflow anaerobic sludge blanket reactor. Here what happens? Influent, you can see the influent line, it is at the bottom. Therefore, it is called upflow. From the bottom, wastewater is fed and the reactor is closed so that anaerobic condition can be maintained, and there is a sludge blanket at the bottom through which wastewater is passed in an upward direction, and during its contact with the sludge blanket where microbes are there, the organic matter present in the wastewater get anaerobically digested. And you can see the yellow lines, yellow bubbles, they are the gases produced during the anaerobic digestion. Those gases are collected in this dome kind of structure, that is the biogas, and the treated effluent are collected. This effluent can be reused or further treated, and this biogas is a rich source of methane, which can be directly used as a cooking gas, or it can be burnt in IC engines, internal combustion engine, to generate electricity. Then next is simultaneous wastewater treatment and electricity generation in microbial fuel cell. So this is the one of the area we are doing research here at IIT Bhubaneswar. So where, as I said, in case of methane, we can generate electricity via IC engines. Okay, so internal combustion engine, it will burn it, the methane, then electricity will be generated. But in microbial fuel cells, they generate direct electricity from wastewater without any intermediate combustion. So microbial fuel cell, this is an emerging technology. It has a promise towards sustainable wastewater treatment with simultaneous electricity generation. Why it is called microbial fuel cell? Because normal fuel cell or normal battery, generally chemicals are provided to generate energy. But in case of MFC, bacteria is used to catalyze the conversion of organic matter. Means whatever wastewater we are generating, it is rich in organic matter or carbon containing matter. So that act as a food for the bacteria, and the bacteria utilize that to generate electricity. Okay, so this is a schematic representation of a fuel cell, where like any other battery or fuel cells, all of us are aware, like it has two electrodes. One is anode, another is cathode. So anode is kept inside the anode chamber and cathode is kept in the cathode chamber. They are separated through a proton exchange or cation exchange membrane, and electrodes are externally connected through wire for the electron transfer. And here, instead of chemical, we add influent as wastewater. So wastewater is influent or the electrolyte in the anode chamber, and it is a continuous mode. Continuously we supply influent and the treated effluent goes out of the reactor. And here in the cathode, we may supply oxygen, and in anode, it is a anaerobic condition. We add some microbe source. Okay, any sludge can be added, which is a source of good bacteria. Bacteria anaerobically degrade the organic matter to produce H plus ions, and E minus or electrons. Because anaerobic condition, oxygen is not there in the anode chamber to capture the electron. So these electrons are transported through the external circuit from the anode to the cathode chamber, and the H plus ions that passes from the anode chamber to the cathode chamber through that proton exchange or cation selective membrane. Okay, through this actually when the electrons are transported from one chamber to other, generally the circuit is completed because of the electron flow. The electricity is generated, and you can see at the cathode what happens. Cathode chamber, H plus ions are coming from the anode chamber, oxygen is provided, so it combines to form water. So there is no pollution here. The byproduct is water and electricity. And in this way, direct electricity can be generated from the wastewater treatment. Okay, so these are the equation. I'm just omitting it. And here, how the electron is transferred from the food or the organic matter to electron. Actually, there bacteria acts as a catalyst. They get attached to the electrode and they transfer the electrons present in the organic matter to the electrode. Or else bacteria, they just they have one external pily kind of structure which are called nanowires. Through that, they get attached to the electrode, and through that nanowire which are present on the bacteria surface, they supply the electrons to the electrode for the transfer from anode to the cathode. Or else bacteria, they secrete some mediator which transports the electron from the bacteria cell to the electrode. So here bacteria plays a role. We do not add any chemical, so that it is completely a sustainable way of generating electricity from the waste through bacteria mediated culture. So what are the uses of MFC, this microbial fuel cell? Apart from this wastewater treatment or resource recovery, it can be used for electricity generation. Simultaneously, it can be used as biosensors for detection of various oxidizable compounds. It can be used also for biohydrogen production. It can be used for contaminated groundwater remediation. It is also used as sediment fuel cell, means this uh, underwater devices which measure different underwater currents or underwater, what are the conditions to sense that this sediment fuel cell can be insert at the sediment of a river or ocean to power the underwater devices. Then body fluid batteries, this is one new scope for microbial fuel cell. Like in body, for heart, we use pacemaker. So for pacemaker, instead of putting any battery inside our body, it can generate electricity from the blood glucose and directly power the pacemaker. So studies are on this body fluid batteries through microbial fuel cell. So these are, apart from electricity generation, some other applications of microbial fuel cell. So these are the uses. Then advantage is like it has high overall conversion efficiency. As I said, unlike other methods where some internal combustion happen or something else occurs, here we generate electricity directly from the wastewater without other intermediate processes. Therefore, losses in any intermediate process are omitted. The conversion efficiency is high, and it can be operated at room temperature. Omission of gas treatment, as I said, off gas is not generated. Main byproduct is water. So no gas treatment are required, and very less sludge is produced. So sludge treatment is also omitted. So in that way, in that line, I will share some of the results. Those are conducted in our lab. If you remember what I said in a MFC, there is a proton exchange membrane which separates the anode chamber and the cathode chamber. And in MFC, that one is the most costliest one, because the cation exchange membrane are polymeric membrane which are mostly very costly. Nafion is the most widely used cation cation exchange membrane. The cost is around 1800 US dollar per square meter, which is very costly. So that restricts the application of microbial fuel cell in wastewater treatment. So we studied like how we can replace. So there is a sustainable material development for a fuel cell which can treat the wastewater. Okay, so we developed a earthen pot like ceramic material. We just mimicked the pottery process, how the potters make earthen material out of mud or clay. So before we just to start with, we just took a earthen pot. It itself worked as a anode chamber, as well as the wall material of the pot worked as a cation exchange or proton exchange membrane. And inside the pot, we added wastewater for the treatment by bacteria in an anaerobic way. So in that we can see, I'm not telling all the results here, but you can see the red line around the point 1 voltage of 0.265 volt and power density of 19.6 milliwatt per meter square. It could generate in a small pot. Only 400 ml wastewater were added. So this is the thing where a photograph like in a 400 ml pot, we could power a calculator. Then with some modification, you can see here, we could power one LED just out of one 400 ml fuel cell. Here inside this 400 ml, only wastewater was added. And the next is that was, see, we just saw that in a batch mode. In our day to day, we generate wastewater continuously, but we just studied the pot in a batch mode, means we added wastewater, saw the treatment, then discarded. But in actual wastewater treatment plants, reactors are in continuous mode, means continuously inflow comes and outflow treated wastewater goes out of the reactor. Therefore, we studied in a continuous flow this earthen cylinder microbial fuel cell. You can see this is the design of a continuous flow where there is inside anode chamber and outside concentric cathode chamber. So the wastewater was fed into the inside anode chamber. It goes, it is treated in the anode chamber and it goes to the outside cathode chamber for further treatment. Then it is the treated effluent is discarded. And you can see the dotted line is the proton exchange membrane, which was made up of earthen material. Okay, so this is the earthen cylinder. Instead of taking the any other material, we thought of making the entire anode chamber of earthen material so that the surface available for the H plus ion exchange will be more and better electricity can be generated. And you can see here the figure A, it shows a reactor in which the polymeric PEM means polymeric cation exchange membrane was used, and another figure B, it shows where the entire anode chamber was made up of earthen material and the surface of that act as a proton exchange membrane. Then we compared the treatment efficiency of these two reactor, and we could see, you can see here, in case of earthen cylinder MFC, 2.89 watt per meter cube volume of power was generated, whereas it was 1.49 with proton exchange membrane. And the internal resistance was quite low in earthen cylinder MFC. And the you can see that the organic COD means the chemical oxygen demand, the organic material removal efficiency was more in case of earthen cylinder MFC. So we could find like this earthen material based ceramic membrane which we prepared, that is a good alternative to the very costly proton exchange membrane that is made up of polymeric material. So similarly, this is the earthen cylinder MFC powering fan. You can see here, we just increase the size, then up from calculator to LED, then it could power a fan. in lab. Okay. This is another one, which is a bigger one. Here the entire, instead of circular, it is a cuboid shape, which treated wastewater, that black color wastewater. Then you can see here, it is a bigger one, MFC, and continuously it is generating power to power this fan. This is in a continuous operation. It is running the fan continuously. So these are some of the XRD analysis. Like many people say, like what will happen to this or then material after a long-term use in a waste environment. So when we carried out the XRD analysis, the ABC figures are actually before use and DEF are the after use. And after operation, it is not a short term. It is almost 2 year, 3 month operation. We could see, we took the sample of the material and we saw that there is no change in the composition and very less deposition, which can be manually cleaned. So it gave a better performance and longevity of that material is also established. It can be used in a long run for the wastewater treatment. Okay, so after that, till now we were using domestic wastewater. We could also see rice mill wastewater, which is very highly polluted one in this fuel cell system. So uh, in this, we could see like we just optimized our membrane preparation. Earlier, we prepared this membrane using the clay, bentonite clay and locally available soil in some proportion. Then we just mimic the pottery making method, like making a plastic solution. Then we just kept it in a mold. Then we air dried, then we burnt it like in muffle furnace at a particular temperature, then prepared the membrane. So to increase its cation transfer mechanism or cation exchange capacity, generally we added uh, rice husk to this to increase the porosity and better proton transfer. So you can see here some result I will show you. Uh, some control MFC and with treated, where the membranes are treated, we could see better performance when the membrane we added rice husk, and the fouling, membrane fouling also we see after 2 months of operation. The membrane which were modified with rice husk, very little fouling or we could see. So cleaning frequency is actually minimized here when we modified the membrane with rice husk for the rice mill wastewater treatment. Because rice mill wastewater, if some of you have seen parboiled rice mills, very dark brown color wastewater is generated, which is very highly polluted, and it comes under orange category of by Central Pollution Control Board. So it could be very effectively treated in the microbial fuel cell system with generation of electricity. Okay. Then also we studied not only any domestic wastewater, we also studied pharmaceutical wastewater treatment in microbial fuel cell. So pharmaceutical wastewater means we use daily pharmaceutical or medicines. So everything is not absorbed into our body. It comes out with urine or human excreta. It finds its way into the domestic wastewater. Also in hospitals, pharmaceutical wastewater is generated, and from pharmaceutical industry also pharmaceutical wastewater is generated. It contains pharmaceutical products which are actually very detrimental to the health, because if it is not treated properly, it finds its way into the drinking water. Again, we will drink it. So which is very uh, dangerous. So in that way, we found a very effective in that similar or new design of microbial fuel cell with anolyte recirculation. We could find very good efficient removal of pharmaceutical like you can see acetaminophen 92 or 93% removal, sorry, 100% removal, caffeine, ampicillin 100%, salicylic acid 100%, trimethoprim 100%, almost 100% removal percentage we could get from the microbial fuel cell. So along with electricity production, it effectively treats the wastewater. Because why I am emphasizing here on MFC, because whatever conventional wastewater treatment system, there these pharmaceuticals are not removed. Some advanced tertiary treatment should be given for the pharmaceutical wastewater treatment. But microbial fuel cell is a system which grows some electrogenic bacteria because of the electrical field generation inside the reactor. Some electrogenic bacteria are generally grown from the mixed culture bacteria. They very effectively degrade this pharmaceutical or some other emerging contaminant very effectively, so that not only electricity, very efficient wastewater treatment also happens in this fuel cell. Also, we have seen this. This is another constructed wetland modification of MFC. Like as I said, some energy input was given, though aeration was not carried out. In case of conventional MFC, we carry out aeration in the cathode chamber so that water is produced. So instead of adding external aeration to make the system entirely self-sustainable without any energy input. Here you can see the influent tank was kept at a higher at a height so that under gravity we can feed to the reactor, and instead of aeration in the cathode chamber we added money plant. It is a floating plant. It doesn't need soil for its growth. So it is a floating plant, and during photosynthesis it adds oxygen to the cathode chamber, so which is sufficient to carry out the aeration. We do not have to add external aeration. In that way, it entirely, the system is self-sustainable without any energy input. It generates a very good quantity of electricity. Also treats the wastewater. So here the parameter I am not telling, but it is a dairy wastewater. It could vary. It could give maximum power density of, this is density, which is normalized to the electrode area, since the electrodes are very small. So, and reactor size is small, but it could treat almost 88% or almost 90% of the wastewater. Then coming to another system which is implemented at IIT Bhubaneswar, which is an energy efficient carbon nutrient removal along with the biogas generation for the as a energy recovery system from waste. So it is under a Indo-European project, and this is in a 100 KLD plant. It is not a lab scale, it is a pilot scale plant which comprises of USB reactor, which I had shown you earlier for the biomethane generation. Along with that, there are deammonification plant which removes the nutrient, because some of the reactors initially, if I want to explain just, there are pollutant in the form of carbon as well as nitrogen. Carbon removal, as I showed, it is organic material, from that energy is recovered. But if the effluent also contains nitrogen or phosphorus, it causes eutrophication in the receiving water body. Eutrophication means algal growth. You must have seen the water which doesn't have circulation there, because of this nutrient richness, there may be growth of green color algae or red color algae, which deteriorates the water quality. Therefore, nutrient removal is also required. So here the complete package we thought of generating, treating wastewater for organic removal, nitrogen removal, as well as electricity generation. So here this is the outline of the pilot plant at IIT Bhubaneswar, which there is an equalization tank which holds the wastewater. Then it is treated in USB reactor anaerobically and biogas is generated. This biogas from the I'm sorry, biogas from the USP is taken used as a cooking gas, and the some of the biogas are actually dissolved in the effluent. So from that also this biogas is taken out in a demethanization unit. So all the biogas is recovered from the gaseous form, and anything dissolved in the effluent also it is recovered. Then it goes to the next tank, partial nitritation tank, then to Anamox reactor, which is a very new technology, Anamox reactor, because without any aeration or very less energy input, it removes the nitrogen, and the treated water generally it is used for the horticulture purpose because it removes almost all the organic and nitrogen, and we are now currently using it as a source of horticulture, uh, means gardening water for the non-edible crops, not for the edible crops. Because for edible crops, we have to think of like all the heavy metal, all the pathogens should be removed. So for non-edible crops, it is meeting the standards, and we are using for the horticulture, non-edible crop horticulture purpose. So this is a complete package where very less energy input is happening. Biogas is used for the cooking gas, as well as the treated water is also a resource which is used for the horticulture, making the process as a circular process where all the resources are reused with a net positive impact on the environment. Otherwise, the wastewater would have found its way to the discharge into a surface water body. So this is the photograph of the 100 KLD plant at IIT Bhubaneswar, which is treating the wastewater generated from the residential area. So here I can say you can see more than 95% BOD removal is happening, and total nitrogen, total phosphorus, whatever efficiency we are getting, it is meeting the discharge standard led by the Central Pollution Control Board. And what are the resources and product we are getting? Treated water, that is reusable water for non-potable uses. It can be used for gardening as well as cleaning the roads, or it can be reused again for flushing in the apartment. It can be used for flushing as well. Gas production, methane gas is produced at a rate of 8.5 meter cube per day. And finally, the sludge which is generated, it can be used as manure or fertilizer in horticulture. So this makes the complete process a sustainable one. And if we compare, the total operation maintenance cost is 8 lakh around. And if we see the cost of the reusable water, gas, and horticulture, it is giving a net present value positive one. And coming to the second part, I will just finish quickly this part. Till now, I was talking about the energy from the liquid waste or wastewater. Similarly, solid waste management is a big issue nowadays. And this part will focus on energy generation from solid waste. And we can see here in the left side, the green bars are showing the waste collection rate. You can see high income countries, more than 96% of the waste are being collected and managed, whereas low income, only 39% of waste are collected. Even though it is collected, it is not sure like it is managed or it is treated. And rest 61% are not collected. It is dumped here and there. So what is the impact of solid waste dumping? When solid waste, you must have felt somewhere in your cities, like when where solid waste is dumped, first thing is smell. Very obnoxious odor comes out of the solid waste dump yards. Also, there are fly nuisance, which causes very irritating scenario at that area. Nobody would like to stand near that area also. And it reduces the land value if in a particular area some solid waste is being dumped. So in that case, you can see like another impact is when solid waste putrefies, like when the decomposition happens, carbon dioxide, methane, sulfur, H2S, they are generated, and carbon dioxide, methane, they are potential source of greenhouse gases. So all these are the impact of solid waste dumping, and in low income countries or lower middle income countries, most of the more than 50% of the waste are not collected. They are dumped here and there. Even though collected, they are not properly managed. So for a sustainable waste management practice, we should see there are a lot of uh, means you can see the right side how it is dumped at a dump site. I would not say it as a landfill, because in a engineered landfill means where it is handled in a good way, in a particular engineered way. Like if there will be gas collection system, there will be liquid or leachate which is generated from the waste dumping, that collection system must be there. Then it is said a engineered landfill. If it is not there, they're just dump sites. Okay. And in Delhi or in some other places in your cities, you must have seen hill kind of structure for this solid waste dump. If someone from you is from Delhi, you know the Okhla, Valsava. So they are dump site. The landfills are, it is not a field. It is like hills or mountains. From a long distance, we can see this long solid waste hills are there. So how to manage that? So it should be like what is the impact of solid waste? They grow disease vector, air pollution happens, explosive gases are there. Leachate generation means the liquid which is there because of the degradation of the solid waste. It contains very high quantity of pollutant which if it reaches the surface water or groundwater, it pollute that. Then because of that, surface groundwater pollution happen. Landfill gas migration to the nearest place happen. So it affects the public safety because of the toxic emissions, and the sometime landfill fire also is there because of the methane. All fire breakout happens at the landfill sites. So in a integrated solid waste management hierarchy, the left one is the traditional waste, like most of the waste was going to the landfill. Very less, next to it, we think of waste to energy. Then something goes for recycling or composting. Very less amount goes for reuse, and we do not think about the reduce part. But the new waste management paradigm, it focuses on first, you see, reduce is the at the top of the hierarchy. We should first reduce the waste generation through good product design and producer responsibility, so that waste prevention happens. There is reduction in the waste at the source itself. Then most next is reuse. After being produced, whatever waste, it should be reused. Then next is recycle. Whatever portion we can recycle for, so it can be reused for some other purpose. It can be recycled. Then conversion or composting. Then means from the organic fraction of the waste, we can go for composting. Then comes waste to energy, and finally, very least amount should go to the disposal side, that is the landfill. That should be the new waste management paradigm. And you must have heard of 3 R's, 4 R's, but you see the multiple R system in solid waste management. Means first one is regulation. Through regulation only we can stop the waste, because if I will say that don't reduce your resource consumption, that less waste will be generated, you will not listen to me. But if government has put some regulation on this consumption or waste generation, or if you will be charged like per day to day house collection, if you are generating this much kgs of solid waste, you will be charged. Like electricity you are consuming, you are getting charged for that. You have to pay the electricity bill. Similarly, if we are charged for the waste generation through regulation, obviously the waste generation will be minimized. Then before using, we should rethink whether I actually need that. Out of that, some waste will be generated. We should rethink. Then in many places, we should refuse. Like some of the materials, if I have already that resource, only why should I take? We should refuse for the use. Then we should reduce our consumption. If we have something, if it reaches its end of its life cycle, we could see like whether it can be reused in some other purposes. So we should think of reuse. refurbishing or redesigning it, repairing it. If something can be repaired before throwing it. Similarly, nowadays young generation, one mobile is not working, new model has come. Why should I go for repair? Better to throw it. I should buy a new one. So what will happen? More e-waste generation is there. So then we should think of recycle. Rot means that composting thing. We should think of producing something new out of that. Then recover. We should recover something out of the waste. Like if something can be recovered, like you could see that Japan Olympics, they recovered the gold or silver material from the e-waste. Most of the medals, some portion of the medal in Japan Olympics could be made out of the gold or silver recovered from the e-waste. So we should always think of recovering the something from the waste. Okay, so here what we did in our campus, we like from wastewater, we also generated electricity from the organic fraction, that is kitchen waste, in microbial fuel cell. So it is a two-step process because liquid can directly be fed to the fuel cell, but here from the kitchen waste, we had to first generate the leachate or liquid waste from the solid waste, then we fed that into the microbial fuel cell for generating electricity. Okay, so here first we shredded the kitchen waste in a shredder. Then there is a leach bed reactor which generated liquid out of this kitchen waste. So the liquid part was going to the microbial fuel cell for the electricity generation, and from the biogas which are generated from the leach bed reactor can be used for cooking, and the solid portion which are remaining at the bottom of the leach bed reactor, that can be used as fertilizer or compost. Okay, so all the part of the solid waste is used in a sustainable way, and energy is generated in the form of biogas as well as direct electricity. So this design portions I am just omitting. This is a leach bed reactor which is there for the solid waste leachate generation, and the liquid is fed to the microbial fuel cell. This is the left side, you can see where the waste is collected from the hostel, and all its parameter were first determined before feeding to the anaerobic digestion and microbial fuel cell. And these are some of the properties, like we could generate good acid rich leachate that can be fed to the MFC, and you can see good power, 1.42 watt per meter cube of power could be generated from the kitchen waste. Okay, that ends my presentation. So these are the collaboration. Whatever research I had shown you, it is collaboration with some of these European universities, as well as these are the Indian institutions with whom we have collaborated for these projects. And these are my acknowledgement goes to my research scholars who helped me in doing all these researches I have shown to you. And finally, thank you. Uh, if Dr. Meena, my presentation is over. If any questions are there. Am I audible, Dr. Meena?
Yes, madam, you are audible.
Okay, so my presentation is over. If any questions are there, I'll be happy to answer that.
I'm Hello.
Ah, yes.
My name is Brahmachari from KL University, Vijayawada campus, and I have one small doubt. During operations, we are facing the BOD value of the sewage treatment water, treated water. It is close to the PCB norms. Actually, the Andhra Pradesh PCB norms 30, and we are
Okay.
getting 26, 28 like that. Can you please suggest what are the remedies we can take to reduce the BOD?
Okay. You are already below below 30 level, right?
Yes, madam. Close to the maximum value.
Okay. Okay. So may I know what are the technologies you are implementing for the treatment?
Yeah, we are using two technologies. One is MBBR technology, another one is the ARBIT technology.
ARP.
ARBIT, ARBIT, ARBIT.
What is that?
There is no abbreviation. Actually, the technology is usually we will give aeration in the collection tank, madam, for MBBR technology. You know the
Okay.
process.
Yeah.
In this ARBIT technology, we are sprinkling the water in air. Only
Okay.
that change is there. That is the different technology, madam.
Only aeration you are carrying out there. Okay.
Yes, yes.
So my suggestion will be, can you improve the packing density in the MBBR?
Which
Increase the
density, madam?
packing density. Yeah. Packing density means you must be having some media in the moving bed biological reactor, right?
Yes, madam.
Okay. That K5 media you must be using. So if you
Okay.
can increase the packing density inside that, or you just increase the HRT in the
Okay.
MBBR. And then say that, and BOD also, I would say, how you are testing BOD. Is it a filtered sample or direct sample you are measuring? Also,
Uh,
you better
Direct
to,
sample
yeah,
from the APPCB certified this one,
okay.
madam.
So there, please filter the sample. Okay.
Okay.
Filter the sample. You can see what is the dissolved organic content. It may be because of the some of the suspended material, some erroneous result you may be getting. So before conducting the BOD test, please filter the sample and do the BOD test. And also you can increase the MBBR packing density somewhat. I don't know at what density you are operating. So 40 to
Okay.
50% is a good optimum packing density for MBBR. You can see that. Source is domestic wastewater, right?
Okay. I will try and run, madam. I will do it.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Any more questions?
Any question, participant? Any more question? Please on your video for photo session. And very informative session. Thank you very much, Dr. Behra. Any question you may ask? Thank you. I think there is no more question. Please on your video for photo session, one photo session with speaker experts. Okay, thank you, ma'am. So,
Thank you, Dr. Meena, for inviting me.
okay, you may join next. We'll go for the next session.
Okay.
Yeah.
Thank you. Okay, I'm leaving
Thank
now.
you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you. Shall we take 5 minute breaks or we'll continue? Maybe speaker has not joined till now.
Ma'am, will we receive the feedback link here or in the WhatsApp group?
Good evening, sir. Good evening, sir. Rajesh, sir. Good evening. Hello.
Sorry, please unmute.
Hello. Hello. Hello.
Hello.
Good evening, sir. Is
Good
audible? Hello.
Am I
Hello.
ma'am?
Yes, sir. You are audible. Good evening, sir. Now our external speaker, session 8 is already joined. Nikhil, kindly introduce.
Yes, ma'am. Good evening, sir. Thank
Evening, Nikhil.
you, sir. Professor Rajesh B. Thackeray is a distinguished academician and a civil engineer with over 3 decades of expertise in structural design and consultancy. After earning a BE in civil engineering in 1991 and a master's in engineering in structural engineering, he has made a significant contribution to bridge design, geotechnical investigation, and industrial structures. Currently, he serves as the director of Thackeray Consultancy Services Private Limited. An accomplished consultant, his portfolio includes projects for Public Works Department (PWD) and major industrial giants, a life member of ISTE, ACI, and other professional bodies. Professor Thackeray exemplifies excellence in sustainable infrastructure development. Now I request to Honorable Professor Rajesh B. Thackeray, sir, for the address to the gathering. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Nikhil. Good evening, all of you. And Happy New Year to all of you. The opportunity given to me by NIT faculties, Dr. Meena Murmu ma'am and Dr. Govardhan Bhatt, I am acknowledging their uh, contribution in providing me the opportunity. Today, my topic is quite relevant to the current scenario. It is basically strengthening of structure using sustainable material. I will take the comprehensive review of current trends and opportunity for sustainable concrete construction, emphasizing the importance of adopting eco-friendly practices to mitigate the industry environment impact for strengthening of structure using sustainable materials. Actually, from 1991 to 2006, I was a faculty in various positions in different engineering colleges, and from 1998 to 2006, I have been associated with concrete research in different domains. And I have been bestowed a Young Scientist Award in 2001 by Government of India, Department of Science and Technology for my contribution in concrete research. So basically, what we are supposed to do is by using the green concrete, supplementary cementitious material, and emphasizing the use of local material, to be explored as sustainable material and technologies. Innovations like self-healing concrete, photocatalytic concrete, and utilization storage principles will also be discussed. I will also discuss about the challenges faced in implementing sustainable concrete construction practices. That challenges may be technical, economical, social barrier, and also I will emphasize on industry and academic in promoting sustainable concrete construction, and emphasize also upon collaborating with industry and institute industry interactions. So you must be also aware of concrete is a sustainable versatile material which can produce structure for thousands of years depending upon the factor of safety we used to assume while designing, and also it also depends upon the quality control during the entire project. Due to the many areas of application, concrete is the second most consumed material on earth, only after water, which is global production of around 4.5 billion tons of cement in 2022, and an annual concrete consumption about 7 times higher. So that is why, while producing the ordinary Portland cement, a primary component of concrete, which is responsible of approximately 7 to 8% of global CO2 emission. This significant carbon footprint, coupled with the depletion of natural resources like aggregates, basically sand and coarse aggregate and water, has led to growing concern about the sustainability of concrete construction, initiated a global transformation to climate neutrality. Rapid urbanization and population growth are factors increasing the demand of new infrastructure and housing. Further, environmental impact on construction industry. As climate change, resource scarcity continue to pose major challenges, there is an urgent need of more sustainable solution in concrete construction. The importance of sustainability in concrete construction has been further be emphasized by international agreements such as the Paris Agreement, United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, which are also known as SDGs, which calls for urgent action to mitigate climate change and promote sustainable development. The presentation will also emphasize on current trends and opportunities of sustainable concrete construction and strengthening, and focusing on use of innovative materials, technologies that have potentially signifies reduce the environment impact of concrete production and use. The green concrete and supplementary cementitious material, as well as emerging technologies and practices, including self-healing concrete utilization and their application. By evaluating emerging trends, providing insights, this presentation aims to guide the industry, academia, and policymakers in adopting more sustainable approach, ultimately facilitating the transition towards the more resilient and environmentally responsible construction sector, in addition to strengthening of existing structures. So basically, what are the sustainable material in concrete strengthening. So we can use the green concrete. In green concrete is a common term for environmentally enhanced material in concrete construction that has gained increasing attention in recent years. The term green concrete refers to the concrete made using eco-friendly material.
Excuse me, sir.
Yeah,
Sir, slide is not visible.
slide is not visible. Uh,
Sir, have
So-
you shared the screen?
Actually, ma'am, my presentation is on laptop, and I share that with all the participants in the group.
No. Okay, sir. No, sir. Screen is not shared. Maybe PPT is not visible.
Maybe there is some technical problems with my device, ma'am.
Mm.
I can share my presentation, no issues.
Excuse me, sir. I am one of the participants. You can share the screen, then the slides will be visible. Now you are only visible, sir. So if you share the screen, and then slides will be visible.
Okay, let me exit from the system, then I will try.
Sir, otherwise. Hello? Little bit, sir, will. After so 2 minutes, sir will be join. Sir, it is visible? Hello?
Yes, madam.
Hello? Hello? Hello?
Yes, ma'am.
Speaker, sir, has joined. Hello?
Hello.
Hello?
Yeah.
Sir. Yes, sir, I am sharing.
So let us start with slide number, I think, 4. Sustainable material in concrete strengthening, green concrete, right? So green concrete can be produced using variety of methods, including use of recycled aggregate, that is also called as CDM, and industrial byproducts and alternative binders, all of which contribute to lower carbon footprint and reduce consumption of natural resources. Green concrete can also be referred as ecological concrete and climate improved concrete, including the use of supplementary cementitious material SCM, geopolymer concrete, or alkali activated concrete. Recycled aggregate are essential component of green concrete as they help in reduce environmental impact in concrete production by utilizing waste material and reducing demand for natural resources. Recycled aggregate can be sourced from various waste materials such as construction and demolition waste, which include demolished concrete and bricks and masonry, as well as waste material like glass and plastics. Nowadays, actually, various municipal corporations like Raipur municipal corporations are also having a plant here in Raipur for CDM, C&D waste. So we can use this C&D waste for as a recycled aggregate and for construction purpose. The waste material are processed and crushed into different sizes to replace natural aggregate to concrete mixture partially or entirely. The performance of concrete made with recycled aggregate may vary depending on the type of and the mixed design of the material. So therefore, incorporation of recycled aggregate into green concrete is the effective way to improve the sustainability of concrete construction by reducing consumption of natural resources, minimizing waste generation, and lowering the environmental impact. Now, various industrial byproducts, such as industrial byproducts, are very, very valuable components of green concrete. They enable the utilization of waste material from various industry and reduce environment impact associated with concrete production. Some common industrial byproducts used in green concrete includes fly ash. You must be knowing that total production of fly ash in our country is above 100 million ton. So that has to be utilized. But before you using those material, basically we have to actually classify them. Classify the fly ash. It is better to have a chemical analysis carried in this material, particularly fly ash, because there are various categories of fly ash. Then silica fume, then metakaolin. Metakaolin can also be used. Then GGBFS, that is blast furnace slag, and the rice ash. In Chhattisgarh, there is production of rice. It is called as a bowl of rice, Chhattisgarh particularly. So we have one industry for basically producing rice husk ash in controlled condition, which can also be used as SCM and therefore reduce the need of traditional cement. So we can replace, IS could permit us to replace cement with these material up to 20% more, or depending upon the testing, we can use more than 20% also. Particularly enlist material like fly ash, silica fume, metakaolin, rice husk ash, GGBFS. So silica fume is a byproduct of silicon and ferrosilicon alloy production, which can also be used as SCM in concrete. Metakaolin basically generated from kaolin rocks, and it is to be powdered in controlled condition. So that can also be used as SCM in concrete. Now GGBFS, that is ground granulated blast furnace slag, is a byproduct of iron and steel production, which is these are the industry in a vast capacity. It is in Chhattisgarh. So we can use this GBFS, uh, which can be ground into fine product and used as cementitious material in concrete mixture. It also improves the workability, strength, and durability. Also reduce the heat of hydration and making it suitable for mass concrete applications. As I inform that rice husk ash is a byproduct of rice milling, which is a rich in silica and can also be used as SCM in concrete. In many uh, testings, this fly ash can be replaced with the fine aggregate also, as it is rich in silica. This might concern the projects where the rapid strength development is crucial. So SCM may be subjected to regulatory constraint, particularly when it comes to the use of waste material or industrial byproduct. Uh, Strict standards and guidelines may need to be met before these material can be utilized in concrete construction. This can create additional challenges for construction projects, as it may require additional testing, documentation, and approval from relevant authorities. Um, as I told you that the basic thing is that we have to classify these materials before mass use in concrete. So whether that is of particularly fly ash is of cement category or not, with that we have to analyze. Next industrial product is geopolymer concrete. It is also eco-friendly alternative to traditional concrete, utilizing industrial byproducts such as fly ash in combination with the GGBFS or other alternative binders, combines with alkali activators. So basically, geopolymers are based on alumina and silica, while alkali activated cement have a higher content of calcium. CSA cement is an example of low CO2 alternative to Portland cement, which contains calcium sulfoaluminate as a primary constituent. So therefore, these magnesium-based cement, such as magnesium phosphate cement and magnesium oxide cement, are alternative binder that offers the possibility to reduce carbon emission associated with cement production. One more byproduct which we can use is a phosphogypsum, which is a basically byproduct of detergent and soap industries, in which I have uh, actually submitted one uh, research to DST, and in that particular project, I have got the Young Scientist Award from Government of India. We have also processed the patent of that particular product. So there are some challenges association with alternative binders as green concrete, such as limited availability. Particularly, metakaolin is very limited available in the market, while the silica fume and rice cash is nowadays available. Then there is variability in properties also, and that is why we need to have proper quality control and process technique defined for the purpose to use. One more thing which we can use, as the government is promoting mostly the rigid payment, we can use the permeable concrete, which is also known as pervious or porous concrete, is an innovative technology which we can use in rigid pavement surfaces, so that to promote natural drainage and reducing surface runoff. This concrete is having high porosity and achieve minimum amount of fine aggregate or sand or higher proportion of coarse aggregate. However, for the purpose of uh, using this concrete in a rigid pavement, I suppose it is to be tested in flexure rather than the compressive strength. Also, it is to be tested for what we call as uh, different properties like permeability and durability. The resulting interconnection voids concrete allows water to flow through it, so that is why it is porous. Permeable concrete can be example to help manage storm water runoff by allowing water to infiltrate through the pavement and into the ground, thereby reducing the risk of flooding, erosion, and water pollution. And also, it will help definitely in groundwater recharge, which is very much of concern today. Full concrete is also known as high albedo or reflective concrete. It is an innovative technology which practice in concrete construction that aims to reduce the urban heat island effect by incorporating materials high solar reference into the concrete mix or surface coatings. Nowadays, in Raipur also, in summer particularly, temperature goes up to 45 to 48 degrees Celsius. So in this condition, we can use this product for different purposes like pavement and all those. This concrete reflects a larger portion of solar radiation back into the atmosphere, resulting in a cooler surface temperature compared to traditional concrete. By mitigating UHI effect, that is urban heat island, full concrete can be contribute to more sustainable and comfortable urban environment, as well as help reduce energy consumption associated with cooling buildings. In summer, while the city temperature is about 45 degrees Celsius, if you are talking about the temperature of the pavement, it is plus 2 degrees Celsius. That means the pavement is of about 47 to 49 degrees Celsius. So that is why it is very uh, necessary now to look into this product for having it as a pavement material. So therefore, the consumption of industry can unlock the full potential of innovative material and contribute to more sustainable and comfortable urban environments. Then we have the other material, which is ultra high performance concrete, UHPC, that has emerged as a promising sustainable material in concrete construction, offering significant advantages over traditional concrete. UHPC is highly engineered, fiber reinforced cementitious composite characterized by exceptionally exceptionally high mechanical properties, high strength and durability. As I inform you that we are the first consultant here in Chhattisgarh to use this technology for a concrete pavement for a smart city in Raipur. This property can make UHPC a attractive material for various construction applications, including bridges. I have proposed, being a bridge designer, I have proposed many to use this material in bridges, ROBs, and buildings also. We have designed one building in Malaysia using this concrete. So this is the different infrastructure project where enhanced performance and sustainability are desired. One of the key benefits of UHPC is the superior strength, durability, which can lead to reduction of amount of material needed in the green project. However, the high cost of UHPC, particularly in comparison with traditional concrete, can be a significant barrier to the widespread adoption. The cost of UHPC is primarily driven by complex composition, which includes a specialized fiber admixture and fine aggregates. The use of local material must be actually encouraged using recycled aggregate from C&D waste. Also, the locally available material is also encouraged. But before using, in particularly in Raipur area and such area, when you are going to produce high strength concrete, the main concern is alkali aggregate reaction, because in Raipur and in around cities, here we get aggregates mostly of limestone, and that reacts with the alkali of the cementitious material. So that is the main concern wherein we have to look into. So therefore, the use of locally available aggregate can be ensured so that the concrete mix is better suited for local environment condition, such as wet and dry condition, or freeze and thaw condition here may not be applied, but definitely wet and dry cycles are there. Or also the soil characteristics is also important, wherein we have basically yellow soil, which may contain the sulfates. So therefore, we have to look into that parameter also. The internal sulfate reaction as well as external sulfate reaction may affect the strength of concrete, particularly in foundations, because that particular member is exposed to the soil in and around. So therefore, we have to seriously look into that particular condition. Using recycled aggregate, brick or glass basically promotes natural resource conservation, and waste reduction. These material can be sourced through local construction and demolition waste, that is C&D waste, repurposing them to new concrete mixes and reducing the demand of excessive aggregate extraction. Then in the next slide, let us discuss about self-healing concrete. Self-healing concrete is an innovative technology and practice in concrete construction that has the potential to enhance the durability, performance, sustainability of concrete structure. The technology is based on the concept of enabling concrete to autonomous repair, crack, and damage, extending service life of structure and reducing the need of maintenance and repair. Self-healing concrete can be prolonged the service life of structure by autonomously repairing cracks and damages, reducing the risk of corrosion and other deterioration mechanism by minimizing need of manual inspection, maintenance, and repair interventions. Self-healing concrete may lead to significant cost saving cover the life of the structure, extending the service life of concrete structure and reducing the need of maintenance and repair can be contribute to a reduction of resource consumption, waste generation, and overall environmental effect. Despite of this promising benefit, there are still some challenges and limitations associated with self-healing concrete technologies, such as scalability of laboratory successes to real story applications, the long-term performance and reliability of self-healing mechanism, and the increase of initial cost of implementing these technologies. So self-healing concrete can be produced by bacterial self-healing by introducing the strains of bacteria and nutrients into the concrete mixture in mixed design. When cracks are formed in the concrete during maybe curing or maybe in service life, the bacteria becomes active in the presence of moisture and begin to produce calcium carbonate, that is limestone, as a byproduct of their metabolic process. The calcium carbonate fills the cracks and restore the structural integrity of the concrete. This method has shown promising result in lab setting and has the potential to enhance the durability and sustainability of the concrete structure. And further, it can also enhance the strengthening of the concrete. So second method is micro and encapsulated healing agents, which can be capsuled in a polymetric material or a mineral-based compound uh, in a small capsule or tubes or incorporated into the designed concrete mix. And when cracks are formed, the capsule ruptures and release the healing agent, which can then fill and seal the concrete. The healing agent can either harden through chemical reaction or solidify upon the exposure to air, thus restoring the concrete structural integrity. Then there is another product which is called as shape memory polymers. These are the polymers which can return to their original shape after being deformed, typically upon exposure to the heat or other external stimuli. As concrete, when it releases heat of hydration, then it will definitely change their shape by incorporating shape memory polymers, polymers in the form of fibers or embedded reinforcement. Concrete can be designed to recover from deformation. And that is the main actually capacity of this tape memory polymer. This self-healing mechanism can help maintain the integrity and durability of concrete structure over the time. Then intrinsic self-healing. In this approach, the concrete mixture itself designed to promote self-healing. This can be achieved by adjusting mix proportion or using specific admixture to create an environment that encourage the formation of secondary calcium carbonate or other material which can fill and seal the cracks naturally. This type of self-healing concrete often healing is often less effective than other approaches. But can it still be uh, contribute to improve the overall durability of concrete structure? Then there are different material which are called as absorbent polymers, SAPs, are highly absorbent material that can retain and release a large amount of water relative to their mass. SAPs are composed of cross-linked polymer network, often derived from acrylic acid and similar monomers. There are a wide range of application in various industries, including agriculture, hygiene products, and construction. SAPs have gained special attention due to their ability to improve performance and durability of the concrete. When added to concrete mix, SAPs absorb water, swells, and create internal reservoir of water within the concrete mass. These reservoirs help in maintaining concrete moisture content, mitigation problems such as shrinkage and cracking caused by excessive water loss during the curing process. Another technology which we can use is photocatalytic concrete. Photocatalytic concrete is an innovative technology and practice in concrete construction that incorporates photocatalytic materials such as titanium dioxide into concrete mix or surface coating. When exposed to sunlight or ultraviolet radiation, these materials generate uh, reactive oxygen species that can break down various pollutants such as nitrogen oxide, then or different volatile organic compounds and particulate matter. This can be result in cleaner air, reduce smog formation, and enhance overall urban livability. The photocatalytic reaction can break down organic matter such as algae, mold, or dirt on the surface of the concrete. The self-cleaning property can help to maintain the appearance and aesthetic of concrete structure, reducing the need of regular cleaning and maintenance and during service life. So the reactive oxygen species generated during the photocatalytic reaction can also produce secondary pollutants or cause damage to surrounding material or ecosystem. Further studies are needed to better understanding and mitigate the potential environmental impact on photocatalytic concrete. Further, we have the technologies like for strengthening the concrete, we have the tensile wraps, FRP wraps, which we can use, or for preventing damages, particularly to the pier or maybe the column from buckling, we can constrain with the steel member so that to strengthen the a particular member. Now, what are the challenges and barriers of these technologies? So technical challenges are basically for improve sustainability of concrete construction, which includes the new materials such as supplementary cementitious material and alternative binders may result in different performance characteristics compared to traditional concrete. The additional research and development as well as adjustment of construction processes to ensure optimal performance and durability. Then innovative technologies such as self-filling concrete, carbon capture required further development and testing to establish long-term reliability, efficiency, and effectiveness. Then we have to integrate the system so that the sustainable construction practices often involve integration of multiple systems such as energy efficiency, renewable energy production, and water management. This can require complex design and engineering solutions to ensure seamless operation and maximum.
This is not audible, sir.
Sustainable concrete practices often requires long-term perspective on return on investment. So stakeholders may be hesitant to invest in sustainable practices if financial benefits are not immediately apparent or if they perceive the risk to be too high. So basically, we don't have to look into these parameters while practicing. Actually, solution is more important than the uh, uh, money involved or economy of the project. So there are also the social challenges like awareness and education, because there are lack of awareness, understanding the benefit of sustainable concrete construction among the industry professional and public in general, because most of the our system is like that. Not only the private as well as government, first they reject all those innovations, and then if you prove by example, then they used to adopt uh, as early as possible. So we have to actually keep on implementing our solutions. So other solution is basically the workforce skills, which we may not get nowadays, but we have to train basically skilled uh, labors, which can slow widespread adoption of these practices. So there are few regulatory barriers also, like existing building codes, regulations, and standards may not be fully supported to accommodate sustainable concrete construction practices. So most of actually agencies, maybe private or government, they used to reject all those things. But you have to accept the challenge and go ahead with the solution. So in conclusion, which I explained of various trends and technologies of material aim to improve the sustainability of concrete construction, strengthening the importance of embracing sustainable concrete practices cannot be overstated, as it directly impact the future of the industry and on the environment. With the construction sector being the significant contributor to global greenhouse gas emission, resource consumption transitioning to sustainable practice is essential for addressing climate change and preserving natural resources, which is our main aim for conserving the environment. For a recommendation uh, uh, for future research, basically strengthening the partnership between the academia and the industry to facilitate the testing and validation of new sustainable concrete technology and practices, ensuring their practicality, effectiveness, and scalability for real world applications. I propose to have maybe uh, one research dedicated to all the byproduct of particularly Chhattisgarh. Uh, Here we have the opportunity to collaborate with any academic institute and encouraging the development of education and training programs focused to sustainable construction for student, professional and skilled workforce is very essential to implement sustainable practices. Promoting the implementation of circular economic principle and design for disassemble concept in concrete construction, helping minimize waste, promote resource efficiency, and extend life cycle of material. So there should be continued investment in research and development of sustainable material technologies and practices with the focus on interdisciplinary collaboration and knowledge sharing among academia, industry, and policymaker. Also, the implementation of supporting public policies, incentive, regulation, and encouraging the adoption of sustainable concrete construction practices by developers, contractors, and property owners. So actually, I am happy to observe that NIT Raipur is one of the leading institute here, which is performing good to have academy industry interactions at various platforms, and they are doing good research work for the purpose of implementation in the society. So this is all about my presentation. Thank you very much. I'm thankful to Dr. Govardhan Par, Dr. Murmu ma'am, all the administrator and faculties of National Institute of Technology, Raipur, and the participants of this faculty development programs. If you have any queries, you can contact me on 975201955, which is my contact number as well as WhatsApp number. And you can use my email ID as rajesh@tcspl.org. Thank you so much.
You can ask questions, sir, is from field engineer and consultant in design also. So you may ask the question related to this topic also and other topic, design topic. Yeah.
or you can send me the queries in the given number so that I can look into those queries and answer it as early as possible.
Hello, hello, sir.
Yes, ma'am.
They have a question that how permeable concrete is manufactured in lab.
Yes, basically we have to actually test it for various admixtures. Nowadays, admixtures are available, but we have to basically control the size of coarse aggregate with of less amount of sand aggregate, so that the concrete result in interconnecting voids, and that can be done. Where basically we have to mix design that one with different type of admixture. We can produce that. We have help here one uh, RMC plant for producing this permeable concrete. And we have used, actually, I don't want to name the brand in this presentation, but personally, I can share the mixed design, no issues.
Hello, sir. Good evening, sir.
Good evening.
Sir, myself Prithviraj. Sir, I have one question regarding permeable concrete, sir.
Yeah.
While we using permeable concrete for the purpose of roads for drainage of storm water or rainwater, if any vehicle moving load, it could affect that properties, strength properties. It can any compression that like that. Can you explain that?
Sir, I already inform about that. You actually don't have to look into the compressive strength of that particular concrete mix. Basically, we have to actually emphasize on flexural strength. So we have to test the flexural strength, whether that is capable of carrying that particular load or not. If the flexural strength is within limit, we can use that concrete for pavement purpose also.
But it can only used in the pavement areas only.
No, not only pavement area, but if at all you require to have to use it as a pavement material, that is what I inform you, sir.
Okay, sir. Thank you, sir.
Same concrete you can use for covers or maybe for footpaths. We can use that one.
Okay, sir.
Sir, another question, what would be good alternative for river sand apart from M sand?
River sand from?
Apart
Sorry?
from apart from M sand?
Yeah. Basically, ma'am, yesterday I think Kapil sir have presented his presentation. So what they are doing is they are basically producing the crushed steel dust to replace a natural sand. The particular actually application is undergoing for testing. It is not for implementation, but we can use stone dust by sieving it. Uh, Stone dust can be a good replacement for a river sand.
They are asking that, sir, please can you share the mixed design of geopolymer concrete?
Certainly, ma'am. I have given my email ID. Please
Yes,
send me
sir.
mail so that I can share the mixed design. Not only this concrete, I can share the mixed design of permeable concrete also.
Sir, another question, sir, how to process the CND waste for concrete production and is economically compared to traditional aggregate?
Yes, definitely, ma'am. It is economical to traditional one because otherwise the CND waste uh, dumped into the ground. So what municipal corporation is doing here in Raipur, they have actually installed one big crusher, and using that crusher, they are crushing all those material and then sieving those material through different sizes of sieves. And depending upon the sizes, they classify the aggregates, and they used to sell those product. So we can actually approach them, and we can collect the sample from there.
They are asking about the email ID.
Email
Okay.
ID is rajesh @T for Thakre, C for consultancy, S for services, P for private, L for limited .org. My number is also shared. If you are interested, I can share the this presentation to everybody so that they can have my number, also my email ID also.
Sir, next question they are asking, sir, what percentage of strength reduction in recycled aggregate?
No. There is no question of reduction, ma'am. In most
No,
of
they
our mixed design, actually, if we design M25 grade of concrete, we get that strength in 28 days. So there is no question of reduction of strength.
Any more question?
Please send your queries to my email ID or my number, which is 975201955. I will be too happy to answer those queries.
Participant may switch on your camera for photo session. Thank you very much, sir, for your expert lecture, and you have explained very elaborately. Thank you very much.
Actually, I am thankful to you, ma'am, for providing me the opportunity.
Not like that, sir. Field people also required for in a academic, so we also know about what it means.
Certainly, ma'am. I am too happy to extend my help.
Everyone should, thank you, sir. Thank you very much. Everyone should switch on your my video, camera. So we'll take one photo.
Madam, in my house, there is no power, madam.
Okay, sir. Okay. Thank you. Thank you.
Yeah. Please, sorry for inconvenience, madam.
No. Okay, no problem, sir.
Yeah. Because I was waiting for power. If it comes, I'll open my camera, ma'am.
We are 2 more days. So any day we can, any session we'll take. Not a problem.
Thank you for understanding, ma'am.
Okay. Okay. Thank you very much to all of you. Tomorrow again we'll join at 6 p.m. Okay.
Yes, madam. Thank you very much.
Okay, madam. Good day to all.
Yeah, good night.
Thank you.
Good day.
Good night. Good night. Thank you, Thakre sir. Good night.
Feedback link will be pasted in the.
Feedback link is not given.
Madam,
Anything?
it is posted in the group. It is posted in the group. You can.
What? Tell me.
A feedback link already it is posted in the group, madam.
Yeah, feedback is already I have posted in chat box.
Yes, yes, madam. It is already been posted.
Okay.
Yes, madam. Thank you.
Okay, tomorrow again we'll meet. Okay, thank you.
Yes, madam. Thank you.
And your attendance I will update, because without verification I can't absent your present. That's why it is time taking little bit.
The second session feedback is not given, ma'am. No, only
no,
first
it is
session
given.
feedback.
It is given. No,
On the
now.
group?
Yeah, group 8:38 I have already posted. You recheck again in chat box.
Can you once again post, because we are unable to find it in so many messages, please?
Yes.
Okay.
So that we can fill it out quickly.
Okay, now got it?
Yes, ma'am. Thank you.
Okay. And please join. You can change your name also. Whatever original name, that name you can change, because to identify that your name, we are getting difficulty. Maybe you people are joining in different email IDs, so this is little bit difficult to identification. Okay. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good night.